Hello, everyone. Welcome to Off the Charts, episode 100. We made it to 100 episodes. Who would have thought I would actually do 100 episodes of this shit? Not shit, but you know what I mean. So, thank you, everybody. Cheers to you all for watching, keeping my sanity going, and this is for all of you. So, episode 100. I don't even know what to say. So, first of all, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe and tell your friends. You guys have been doing this all year, so thank you for all the subscriptions here. So, today's episode is actually a request episode from a friend of mine, Dion, who was telling me you should do an episode on bands that should have been huge. So I'm like, that's actually a pretty good idea. Now, I will be putting my thought into why maybe this band didn't become huge. Was there a reason? Was there no reason? Was this just luck of the draw? This is just my opinion, guys. I'm sure there'll be, different opinions. This is how I think or feel is the reason why these guys never got huge. When I'm talking huge, I'm talking your Poisons, your Motley Crues, your Bon Jovis, that type of huge here. Some may be household names, some may not be. So we'll try to figure out here. So and this is part 1 here, top 10 or just 10 hair metal bands that should have been huge, but were not for some sort of reason. Guys, chime in. What do you think? Are there bands out there? And like I said, there is going to be a part 2, I'm assuming there, because I did say this is part 1 here. So we'll start off with bands that should have been huge, but for some reason that they did not. First off, Black and Blue. These guys, okay, I'm not saying that this they should have been as huge as Motley Crue or Poison or whatever, but they should have been as huge as Rat. Now, why were they not as huge as maybe Rat was? Well, to my knowledge, they have 4 albums. First of all, that's not to my knowledge. No, they have 5 now. But let's call their first 4 albums. They have 4 albums, and out of those 4 albums, this is the MTV era. 3 fucking videos that I know of. Okay. Hold On to 18, great choice for a video. Great choice. But after that was, I forget what the song was called exactly. Some Journey co-written song off of Black and Blue, Without Love. And the third album or whatever had a Miss Mystery. Those 2 singles or / videos sucked. I'm sorry. They were... Hold On to 18 was great. Okay, let's say that. But after that, what the hell was that song called? I'll Be There For You, or... Do I have the song here off the top of my head here? I may have had a little to drink watching the Sens game where they fucking lost again. Alright, here we go. Black and Blue. The other one was I'll Be There For You. Yeah, that's it. And the other one was Miss Mystery. Terrible choices. So while Rat was kicking off like awesome singles, these guys were like, you know what? Their video choices or single choices. Was it the record company that wasn't choosing the right singles or and all that? I think that they should have been a lot bigger than what they deserved, to be honest. But I don't know if it's bad management or what, but these guys had great songs and their choice of videos was terrible. That's probably why they weren't huge. There's no way that, like I said, if you come, and I'm saying rat because that's what they say in their friggin' box set CDs here, where they're saying, well, we should have been as big as Rat. Yeah, you know what? You should have been as big as Rat. But your choice of singles for album 2 and 3, like you guys had 4 albums and you had 3 fucking videos. Is there any other videos that I'm missing here? Hold On to 18, Miss Mystery, and I'll Be There For You. Apart from that, 3 albums and you had no videos? Anyway, I don't know who the hell to blame for this, but it's not until the 90s that I started buying these guys, because they never played the videos on Power Hour here in Canada. So, who knows? Anyway, Black and Blue is another one that should have been huge, I guess, but was not meant to be. All right, second place here. I've got just 10 bands to talk about here today. This one here, okay, I'll just show it off now. Badlands. Now, some people love these guys. I think they're just okay. This was mentioned by my friend Dion here, who said I should do an episode regarding bands that should be huge. Do I think this band should have been that huge? They were different, yes. They were original, yes. But as much as people love these guys, I remember my friend Steph telling me when he bought this album, he was going back home. He's like, oh, fuck, man. It's like he bought this album, and I think somebody else is going to be coming on this list a little bit later on. He's like, oh, this was promoted. They promoted the hell out of this album at the time. Maybe, was it 1980? Yeah, 89. Not quite late, but a little late to the game. I don't know. I don't know what to say about these guys. I don't share the same opinion about these guys as most people do. People who say they love this band freaking love this band, okay? I like them. I don't love them. But it would have been cool to see them. But this guy here, whether you like his voice or not, is a fucking douche. And they would not have been as big had he not done these little... Google his name. You'll see why he's no longer with us. Not that I'm... But he did some questionable choices regarding his sexual life, I guess, there. And he died of AIDS, but or something like that there. I don't know the whole story there. But I don't think the singer would have been around if these guys were a lot huger. So Badlands, I still don't get it that much, but that's just me. But here we go. Badlands was on the list from my friend Dion. Decent band, let me put it that way. I don't think it would have made a big difference later on. Okay, these guys... Okay, let's just... When I heard about these guys in 1984, they were fucking huge. Then, out of nowhere, they just friggin' dropped... Well, that's huge to a point. They had one huge hit single. So I'm talking about Autograph. Everybody knows Turn Up the Radio, which I fucking love. Okay? But album number 2 came, fizzled a little bit. I didn't know this existed until I met, again, my friend Steph, who kind of reintroduced me to hair metal bands that I missed back then. Because I guess I had no internet or I didn't have any friends that actually love all this at the time. This album is friggin' good, by the way. But Autograph, these guys, I have no answer. Why wasn't this? And I'm not saying they should have been huge as Mötley Crüe, but why did people love Turn Up the Radio so much and then just... I knew the album, the second album there, That's the Stuff, existed because I know a guy at school that had it at the time. Why was it? I don't know. They just seem to have disappeared, like Twisted Sister back in the late '80s, just fucking disappeared. I think this is great. Again, nothing was ever played on Power Hour here in Canada, so to me, when I was, I didn't have power or pay TV or whatever you want to call it, whatever had much music at the time. I only got it when it was part of the cable, but Turn Up the Radio was on Video Hits with Samantha Taylor. I knew of the song, I loved it, but album number 2, I knew it existed. This one, I didn't know it fucking existed. Is it the record company? I don't know. But to me, these guys were getting better and better, but they just friggin' dropped off the face of the earth after this album here. It's a shame. These guys were actually getting very good here. So Autograph, I don't even know why. Like, it's not a bitch fest here. It's just trying to figure out why these bands were not as huge. And this has nothing to do with the grunge. This came out in 1987. Grunge was not even a thought. Thank God. All right, these guys here. Before I go, there we go. Blue Murder. I've talked about these guys on my channel before. This is the type of band adults should have liked, okay? As a teenager, a young teenager, when I bought this, and this was the other album my friend Steph told me about. He bought Badlands and this album, and he was coming back home going, fuck, this is not what the fuck is this? But you know what? As I grow older, I friggin' love this album. But the thing is, it fizzled here. Like, this was... So if you know the backstory, this is John Sykes. After he was booted out of Whitesnake, having written one of Whitesnake's best ever songs, as in Still of the Night. That's... so, I think they were on the same record company. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I guess record companies had a choice between Whitesnake, and Whitesnake was that friggin' famous 87 album-ish with Still of the Night. This came a little bit after. I don't know. Some people say that this should have been huge. Some people say that the second album, this was actually a fairly decent first album, but the second album took way too long to come into our hands, which I believe, because I remember when this came out, I was like, okay, cool. And the second album, I was like no longer interested. So, I don't know. But you know what? In hindsight, I was like, fuck, I love this band here. This is so good, this album. I'm going to keep saying it on this channel. But the second one, too far in between the first one. I think this one came out in 89. And Nothing But Trouble came in 93 or 4 maybe. I don't have it with... Well, I have it on CD over there. I'm not taking out CDs. This is just the vinyl issue of this episode here. So, anyway... why were they not huge? I think people wanted to hear more Whitesnake, and also the fact that there was album number 2 came way too late. Maybe they were having some sort of momentum, and too long until album number 2, which I fucking love. But I didn't buy it at the time. So, anyway. These guys. Boy, have I got a story for these guys here. King's X. Where to be? I liked these guys. First of all, this is probably the poster boy of bands that should have been huge, but were not. Some people love King's X. Some people just like them. Some people can't stand them. I like them a lot, okay? But the first 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll say 5-ish albums. They were not fairly categorized into hair metal. This is not hair metal really. But this is beautiful songwriting. Great vocals. Anybody who's a musician loves King's X. I like them a lot. I think they did. There was a period in their career where I just friggin' stopped. You'll have to see my King's X episode eventually. They have a new album out this year. I'll make a King's X episode. But after a while, I was like, okay, you know what? I give up on these guys. This is getting nowhere. But their first 4 or 5 albums, to me, are friggin' genius. They should have been bigger than... And it's when I saw them live at Barrymore's here in Ottawa, and I'm like, I'm not even sure if there was 50 people in the bar. It was that bad. And I'm like, okay, these guys definitely don't deserve 50 people in the fucking bar. The show was good, but they were on that tour. That tour is where I kind of got into King's X. Again, that'll be an episode in itself right there. But if you guys like great music, great vocals, originality, and check out King's X. These guys are freaking great. Check out their official videos there. This one, obviously, Over My Head, It's Love. They've got a second win with me there, but and I'm not the only one saying these guys should have been huge. A lot of music critics would be like, why isn't this band bigger than what they are? Most of you, like I said, most of you who followed this channel must know who King's X is. But let's say you're just popping up into this channel here. And you're like, who the fuck is King's X? You know what? Check out the videos I just mentioned there. Over My Head, It's Love. Those are great songs, great vocals, great song structures. This is the poster boy, but they did shoot themselves in the foot during 2 albums. I was like, and I don't give up on bands easily. But these 2 albums, again, one day when I do my King's X ranking, which will be very soon actually, I was like, you know what? I give up. I don't care about these guys. This is 2 albums that are shit. I never listened to them. So, but there's no reason for the first 4 or 5 albums that this band should have been bigger than they are here. So King's X. Okay, these guys. I knew of them. I'm slowly getting into the discography right now. Y&T. Yesterday and today. I actually ordered their Thanks to Rock and Metal Invasion here for the suggestion. I didn't know they had a documentary, so I ordered the Blu-ray. But these guys just are raw. They rock like everybody else. They in the late 80s, they kind of introduced synthesizers. Why was this band never as huge? I don't know. there's nothing wrong with this band. They're actually very great. Like, they're very good. Even my friend Yan's like, my God, this Y&T band is actually very good. I've been buying their albums of late. Like, I'll get their whole collection. These guys are that good here. Why were they not that huge at the time? This one, you know what? I don't have an answer. If anybody can chime in on the comments below, let me know. But Y&T should be bigger. But this is where I'm like, how or why do bands get big? Is it, and I'm not going to start into conspiracy theories or whatnot. There, trust me, I'm not the guy for this here. But is it record companies that, slide in some money to get certain bands being popular and certain bands not? Is it the age? Is it, because there's a lot of bands out there where everybody's like, why isn't this huge? Man, this music is friggin' great. But you got these other bands that are huge, and everybody's like, why are these guys huge? I don't know. I'm not naming names here. I'm not gonna start a but again, certain bands that are coming up here are huge. Or sorry, they're not huge, and to me they should have been. Some of them I don't understand why. Some of them I do get it. But anyway, we'll keep up. These Thursday episodes are a challenge for me. I'm like, fuck, I don't eat. This is my Thursdays is when I work my 1 to 9 shift, and I do my episode right after. I have a couple of drinks after my shift, and I'm like, fuck, I should have eaten something. So, if you know me, not that I'm seeing blurry right now, but I'm like, holy shit, tomorrow I'm going to be watching this. I'm like, what the hell were you talking about, Dan? All right. This next one, I know why these guys were not huge. Winger. And you guys know I love Winger. Album 1 and 2, they were friggin' great. But there's people that fucking hated Winger for being a pretty boy, being a good... But you know what? Why didn't anybody say Lee Aaron or Doro or Lita Ford or... They were friggin' hot. Well, they still are. They're friggin' hot Vixen. And... Actually, they're not even this episode Vixen. I should do that. But... Why is it okay for girls to be hot, but guys not? That was one part of the problem. Then the friggin' Beavis and Butthead issue came up, and that did not help the band. And I will not watch. My nephew keeps fucking bugging me about sending me these Beavis and Butthead. I'm like, I'm not fucking watching it. What? Because that Winger thing? Yeah. I'm still bitter over that. So, Beavis and Butthead and grunge obviously destroyed this band. This is why Winger never made it huge. 1, they were a little bit late to the game. 2, they were fucking ridiculed for no reason. Okay? And 3, the grunge hit. But you know what? People say, and this album came out when grunge was 93? Yeah, 93. I know my fucking Winger. And everybody says, this is their best album. And of course, nobody fucking owns it or knows about it. But it's not their fault. Like, this, I don't get it. Like, people can be so fucking petty sometimes, I find. And I don't know. I really don't think they deserve the crap that they got. I remember my friends laughing about this guy in high school being the one note king or whatever. I stuck with them through everything. I love Winger, and I think they have a lot to give to the world musically. Don't base it just on the singles that you see on TV, on Much Music or Power Hour or whatnot. So this one, yeah, you know what? Should have been bigger. They came late to the game. Grunge hit them, and that fucking Beavis and Butthead bullshit did not help them. So here's another one, Winger. Next up, I got 1, 2, 3 more. I'm actually feeling that this is actually like a little bit of a bitch fest here. Thanks, Dion. These guys, I don't even know how the hell they're surviving right now. Enough's enough. How many critics say this is the best thing since sliced bread or the best thing since tits? And we all know how tits are friggin' good. Like, every critic say Enough's Enough is the best. Like, they keep getting, like, they're great songs. A little like King's X. Great songwriting, great vocals, great song. Like, I don't know what else to say. But man, oh man, first of all, these guys came late in the game. But you know what? I was actually buying a whole bunch of Enough's Enough, and I'm like, I got all the way, like Covered in Gold, I think is the last album I got. It was a covers album there. I'm not going to, let's forget about the later albums here. But the first 5 or 6 albums, they're great. A little psychedelic. Imagine hippie hair metal, if that makes any sense. But you know what? I don't even know. Again, I think it's because these guys came late to the game. But Enough's Enough. I don't even know how the hell they can buy food. Like, they were that. I'm not saying they're poor. I don't know who the hell they are there. But these guys have a lot more to say than Bon Jovi does. Let me put it that way. Or better songs than Bon Jovi does. Not that I'm saying anything bad about Bon Jovi. I think their first 4 albums are good. After that, it's a whole bunch of crap. But I don't. This one I don't understand. I think it's because they came late in the game. But you know what? Check out Enough's Enough. I have 9/10 of their discography, and they're great. Near the end, it's kind of getting like a little, whatever. But you know what? Enough's Enough. I think more came into the late in the game here. So great one here. I love this band. I think they have a lot to bring musically. Great vocals. So Enough's Enough. 2 more. All right. I don't know super much. This came recommended by Dion here. Coney Hatch. Why were these guys not huge? I think it's because their albums kept getting worse and worse. This album here is friggin' great. You got Devil's Deck, Hey Operator, and of course, my favorite, Monkey Bars. That's such a friggin' good song. But as the albums came, this is, what the hell was that guy's name there? No Tattoos, Andy Curran. This was 1980 and 82. Great first album, and everybody I talked to, great first album, good second album, not as good third album, and I don't know what the hell happened after that there. But Coney Hatch, I think it's the quality of their albums that started to suffer near the end. I'm just lately getting into this band, but this album here has been I've loved a lot of their songs since then here. So Coney Hatch. I don't have much to say about these guys, but they're a lot better than they should be a lot more popular in Canada, at least. So Coney Hatch. Last one. This is the last one for part 1. I don't even know what to say with these guys here. I like these guys a lot. So let's... Dangerous Toys. The first album was friggin' great. They had... Well, you know what? Let's... Before I start bitching about this. The first album... This is not their first album, by the way. This is their third. They're pissed because they lost their record contract, I believe. So, the first one, I remember hearing about it on the Power Hour at the time. It's like, I fucking loved that first video where Teasin' Pleasin' and Scared were great. And I think the recording, to me anyway, suffered. It was super high end, no bottom end. I've mentioned this on an episode before, but my friend Pascal was like, "Oh my god, this music is giving me a headache. It's too much trebly, and there's hardly any bottom end." And I'll still remember that day. I'm like, sorry, I made a mix. And this is back in cassettes. So I made a mix of cassettes. Decided to remake a mix because I thought there was something wrong with... And you know what? It was the same fucking sound. To the ear, their sound was not, I guess... I'm not saying that these guys should have been a household name. But nothing ever happened. They did 4 albums and bang, they're gone. This is a if you like your hair metal, this is probably it is my favorite actually. I did an episode on Dangerous Toys. This album I love. The first one I love. The second one, I remember seeing the video for Line 'Em Up, and everybody, my friends were like, it's okay. Maybe a bad choice of first single or first video. But Dangerous Toys are a lot better. They're another forgotten hair metal band here. So, Dangerous Toys. I think the recording of the mastering of their albums is... The songs are great. But if you're recording with your ears there... Some song it's too trebly, not enough bottom end. So, okay, let's... Oh my god, I'm gonna pay for this tomorrow. Not sober right now. Let me put it that way. So, why? Again, if you guys want to chime in as to why some of these bands should have been bigger. Did they deserve their fate off of this? It's actually a big discussion here. Like I'm actually like, were they too late? Record company, were the songs just not that good? I don't think I've talked about any of these songs being not that good. Do I think that these bands should have been as big as your Poisons? Your definitely bigger than Poison. I like Poison. They did not have a lot to say musically, but you know what? A hook is a hook. Is Poison popular because it was a great earworm? I saw them live. And I told my friend Steph and my sister, I'm like, who the fuck is buying all these albums here? Like, I know nobody that owns their newer albums. And we went to see them in Toronto, and they're still attracting 16,000 people. Mind you, there was still Winger and Faster Pussycat and Cinderella on the bill. But I'm like, who the hell is buying this? Why is this band so popular? And I'm not dissing Poison about this. Okay, I'm not dissing Poison at all. Okay, but why is Poison, your Warrants, your Motley Crues, your so huge, and these bands here were not? I think I touched on some aspects as to why they were not huge, why they some I have no answer. Anyway, chime in on this, guys. Like I'm actually wanting to start a conversation about this here. So this is the end of part 1. This is the vinyl edition. The CD edition I think will be, well, let's wait until, let's see if you people actually like part 1 first, and then we'll talk about part 2 here. Oh, on that note, oh my god. Yeah, I should have eaten something today. I'm like, I'll be watching this tomorrow morning. I'm going, what the fuck? And of course, on that note, when I'm a tad not sober, I tend to be not as shy or being out there. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this episode. Could be a train wreck. I'll see tomorrow morning when I watch this. But thank you guys for watching. What the fuck am I talking about here? Thank you guys for watching. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. I got a feeling that Friday morning episodes have a... They're not as sober as the Tuesday morning episodes. So, on that note, I still want you guys to chime in on those hair metal bands I talked about in this episode. Let me know why you think they didn't make it big. Was it the songs? Was it the grunge? Was it lack of commitment from the record company? I don't know. Coulda, woulda, shoulda? I don't know. You let me know. On that note, have yourselves a great whatever. We shall see you guys next episode, and have yourselves a great whatever. Cheers.